want to go to the next slide? So like I said, my name is Sherry Barn. I've been in with Purple Bean Media for 7 years. Before that, I worked as a director of social media at a nonprofit. And I started that in 2012. So social media since that. And so I've been in this world for a very long time. Next slide. So when it comes to your social media your strategy, it's very simple. All you need to do is stop the scroll. So it sounds really easy. It's a little harder to get there. So think about your own habits. What do you guys like to be on? Like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Facebook? Yeah. Is everyone? I think Facebook is still king, even though people say it's dead. So when you scroll down through Facebook, what makes you stop on a post? Because that's the goal. Because we can all put stuff online, but the goal is to make them stop.
So she can't have anything. Headline? The headline?
Okay, just one sec.
Sometimes the picture.
Yeah, so a picture? Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear.
On the Zoom.
Okay. Sorry, we're just making sure everyone can hear. Sarah said she couldn't hear.
You could, but you're,
Is there like a bounce for the audio?
yeah.
Yeah, we can see that, and then this is my slide, so that's okay.
You mean like on our device, are we supposed to? see that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think they're
You have
recording
to
it.
be
so we
logged
want
in on
that.
the Zoom.
Maybe someone in here that has their volume on.
They're all on Zoom.
It's that.
All right, can I keep going? Or?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, can you go to the next slide, please, then? So when it comes to social media, the average person scrolls the Statue of Liberty every single day. So has anyone seen the Statue of Liberty? I don't know how tall it is, but I think it's really tall. And it's literally, that's how often we scroll per day, this length of the Statue of Liberty. Okay, next slide, please. So that goes to show people are on social media. So I'm going to go kind of into why we need social media, and then I'm going to go into how to do it properly for our businesses. All right, so social media is the new town square. So before we used to have to, go to literal town square. Like my parents or my dad's from Portugal, so they had literally a town square where the gossip would happen and people would find out what's happening. Now we're finding out what's happening from social media. 90% of millennials are on social media, 48% of baby boomers, and this is a couple years old, so I think it's even probably more. 90% of consumers will reach out to a brand online just because you're available. Right? And then 65% of people are more loyal to a brand when the interaction is positive. So I'll talk about it later on, but answering messages is very important to your social media strategy. All right, next slide, please. So there's something called the mere exposure effect. This was a really big deal for salespeople in like the 80s. And what it means is the more you're exposed to something, the more you trust it. So think about when you walk into a convenience store and you look at their whole thing of drinks, what do you go to? Do you look and try something new, or do you just go to your same old, like I always grab a Coke. I'm not looking at anything new. I'm just like, Coke, please. So that's the mere exposure in action. Whatever we're more familiar with, we naturally gravitate towards. So next slide, please. So at first you might try something and you're like, I don't know, or you might hear a new song, or you might like see a new drink on the market, like Prime energy drink. You're like, I don't know. Then you're like, okay, I can see it. And then it's like, I like it. And once you get to this part, that's where the gold is. So this is the point of social media. The more you're on it, the more your brand or your face is on it, the more people will just kind of start preferring you to your competitors. All right, next slide. So this is also an old sales adage, know, like, and trust. The more someone knows you, the more they'll naturally like you. The more they like you, the more they trust you. So when it comes to social media, you just put yourself on there all the time. You're sharing about your business, maybe a little bit about your personality, your family, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. The more information you put out there, the more people will start liking you. Once they like you, they trust you. And that's when the business transaction happens. So, but again, they have to know you before they can spend money at your business. All right, next. So again, we have to stop the scroll. So before we go into how we can create content to stop the scroll, let me ask you what your businesses are. So I can kind of like, and if you don't want to share, that's totally fine. But if you do, then I can make content like kind of specifically for you. So
I do ribbon skirts.
What's that?
Ribbon skirts.
Ribbon skirts? Okay, what's your name?
Sherry.
Oh, that should be easy to remember. Okay.
Publishing.
Publishing? Cool. What's your name?
It's Ontario Native Literacy Coalition.
Cool. Okay.
Minetta, I work at the library,
Okay,
the books.
what's your business?
Printing out stand-up board.
Oh, cool. So printing and then one more?
I'm Kathy and I do painting and beading
Okay,
classes.
okay, cool. So all of those are good for social media because basically almost all of you have stuff you can put on social media. Like insurance people, really hard to put content, like boring jobs like that. But with visual arts, you can, and books are the same way because I like love to read. So like when my library puts things up, I'm like, oh, new book. So the point is, you just need to get on. So let's go to the next scroll or next slide. We'll talk about what we need. This is a double clicker, Josh. So we need two things. Images. So this can be photos or it could be images that we do on Canva, which you guys talked about last time. Photos with faces perform 40% better than photos without faces. So once in a while, if your makeup's done, your hair's done, go online. So choose the day wisely. But it's more likely to stop the scroll than just like if you just have, say, a nature picture. All right, next slide. So when it comes to images, we need good photos.
What about the logo?
Logo. So on social media, I don't put my logo on everything unless it's something specific. So if I'm running an ad, I'll put my logo. But it's like if they're already on my feed, they already see my face all the time because I'm constantly posting. Do I need to put my logo? And sometimes that extra step makes me not post. So my whole thing is in the best case scenario, every picture has to be perfect. It has to have your logo. Every like content writing has to be this long and have all these keywords. In reality, we're busy and we're not going to spend that much time on social media because we have to run our businesses. So it's like, you know what, do what makes it easy. So you have your phone here. I bought this, I like the Pro because you have the 3 cameras. So that means when you're doing a video, I don't know, you guys probably cannot see this on screen, but it blurs out the background so you're in the forefront. Or with photos, it does that too. So instead of like needing a real camera and like figuring out how to like do the slow the shutter speed and all this kind of stuff that you don't have time to learn, it's like the camera does it for you, which my photographer friends hate, but I love. So what you can do is take good photos. So I always say buy the phone. So like I said, I'm an iPhone user, so I buy the Plus phone because it has the 3 lenses. Samsung I know has a really good camera. You just need to frame it right. What do you want in the background? What do you want in the foreground? And use the best. So like one thing the younger generation does, my daughter, who's 15, she'll be like, hey, take a picture of me and my mom. And I'll be like smiling. And then I'll think one picture is good because that's how I grew up because we had to develop our phone. And I'll walk away. She's like, Mom, we have to take more than that. And I'm like, oh yes. And then she'll pick the best one. So that's what I'm learning from them. Take as many as you can. We can just delete them. We don't have to develop anything. It saves us money. And then choose the best picture. Before anyone looks at the copy, so before anyone looks at the words, they're looking at the pictures. And you said it when I said, what makes you stop the scroll? The first thing is the picture. So take the picture, find the best one, and then use it. All right, next thing is video. So similar but different. Video is taking the world by storm right now. Oh, sorry, actually one more thing about, so if you don't love being on cameras and you don't love selfies and stuff like that, which most people don't, you can do funny things like this that are popular and are trending. So this is a meme you guys have probably seen. It's kind of old now, but it's like, it'll be like new girlfriend, old girlfriend, new girlfriend, but you can do it towards your thing. So like beads, like thousands of beads I have in my closet at home, walking through Michael's or something like that. So it's just a kind of funny joke. And memes work because people stop because they're hilarious. So like, Taylor Swift, when she was at the football game, there was a lot of memes coming out about that because it was just trending at the time. So if you can be like, oh, there's a funny meme, how do I make it work for my business? That's where you'll get a little more engagement, a little more uptick. All right, so let's talk about video, Josh. So video is awesome. Again, the phone makes it very, very easy because honestly, even the microphones are good on this thing. If you want to level up, there's like lapel mics you can buy for like $30, $50 on Amazon. Otherwise, honestly, what we have works. And I just use my phone most of the time because again, if it's not easy, we won't do it. Like if it's gonna make, if I have to go and like take it from a little SD card, put it on my computer, then edit the video and then upload it, it's not gonna happen. But if I can quickly go live and be like, hey, I'm here teaching at Two Rivers, we're talking about AI, social media, and how to make your life easier, that will actually get done. Is it perfect? Is it good for television? No, but at least it's up there. So when it comes to video, here's some statistics. Does anyone have TikTok here? Yeah? Okay, so TikTok is new in the like platform world. They're trying to rival Facebook and Instagram and YouTube specifically. So obviously we know it's just an all video platform. So that's really good. When it comes to YouTube, does anyone have a YouTube channel? You do? Yeah, so YouTube Shorts are amazing. Again, it's the vertical video. And there's a lot of content you can do with that. So the average person watches 100 minutes per day. And actually on my own Instagram, I just shared while I was waiting for things to start. Mr. Beast is a huge YouTuber and he like the most popular shows on Netflix. It's like The Night Agent had like say 800 million views or whatever. Mr. Beast with his YouTube channel like doubled the highest rated, highest watched Netflix show. So people are spending time, especially if you're hitting the younger generation. They're very likely to go on YouTube and watch for their information. They're not necessarily going. They are going to the platform still, but YouTube is number one, which YouTube is just a video platform. 1/3 of all online activity is spent watching video. So just think about what we do online. We're watching videos a lot of the time. Vertical video is now the most popular form of video. So when you scroll through Instagram, so Instagram was first, and then they saw TikTok and they're like, hey, we want to buy you TikTok, and TikTok's like, no thanks, we believe in ourselves, we think we're going to be the next big thing. So Instagram's like, fine, I'm going to literally copy exactly what your platform is and add it to our platform. So now they have Reels. The thing with Reels is it will interrupt your scrolling. So it'll be like your friend, reel, friend, reel, friend, reel. So they're really, really pushing the short form video. And Facebook's doing the same thing. So when you scroll on Facebook, you'll be like, see your friends, and then there'll be a bar where you can just scroll and see everything that you're interested in. So for me, it's football playoffs. It's whatever team, like the Bills, because that's what I follow right there, or like my favorite singer, or someone doing crafts or whatever. And you can scroll. And once you're in that loop, it's like never-ending entertainment. So that's why it's really important to have these things, because people are spending so much time there. You don't even realize. Like sometimes I'm like right in bed going to sleep, and I'm like, oh, I'll just check Facebook. And then half an hour later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just watched like 30 10-second videos or like 1-minute videos, and I wasted 30 minutes of my life watching these stupid things. But they work, and that's how I know it works. When it comes to video, the first 3 seconds matter. So I always tell people, if they're on your page, you don't need to introduce yourself, because that takes like 2 seconds. Sometimes I'll do that out of bad habit, because I'm used to like the old school YouTube stuff, like, hi, I'm Sherry Barnett, today I'm going to talk about. But what you have to do is, what the point of your video is, you need to get to it right away. So if I was doing a quick like little video about this class, I'd say, hey, do you want to learn how to do AI and integrate it into social media? Stay tuned. Okay, today we're talking about, and then you go into it, but you need that hook, and that hook has to be within 3 seconds. So you have to sometimes plan your content. When it comes to video, no one likes doing video. It's really weird, really unnatural, but it's where people are. Probably a lot of your competitors aren't using it, which is why you should be there. And when you're on it, for me to save time, because it's kind of hard after a while to come up with idea after idea and to be ready for camera. Like I like to have my makeup on when I do it. So what I'll do is be like, okay, I'm putting in my calendar, I'm going to record 5 videos this afternoon. So I'll write out a couple of ideas and then record them. So where people get, and where I used to really get stuck when I would record the video, besides like the nervousness of being on video, I would know where I'm starting, but I wouldn't necessarily know where I was going, and I definitely wouldn't know how to end it. So I would always trail off like this. So anyway, yeah, if you want to know about social media, and that would be the end. I'm like, okay, I got to get better. So now I used to, and now I sometimes do it depending on the length of the video. I'll write out my opening sentence because I want it to have a punch. And then I'll do my middle part, like whatever the content's about, and then I'll have like a last concluding sentence, so I don't trail off. Just because I trail off, like even in this talk, you will hear me trail off, because I'll be like, where was it going? I don't know. So that's kind of how I organize my videos, because I want the video to be like really good. It's only 60 seconds or 30 seconds. You need that 30 seconds to be a good 30 seconds, because we have so much competition, you could just scroll to the next video. So the opening is very key. All right, let's see, next, please. All right, so when you're doing video, when you're doing your photos, when you're doing your writing, everything has to be about your customer. So sometimes as entrepreneurs, it's easy to talk about ourselves, of course, because we're in our lives, we know what's going on. But what does your customer want to hear? But before you can even answer that, you need to answer the question, who is my customer? So has anyone ever done customer research before? Yeah? Like for the library, who comes in? Is it mainly women? Is it teenagers? Is it people over 40?
Kids, I would say.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So let's go to the toolbox and we'll kind of do an exercise. And if you're online, you can open up another tab and do this along with us. But we'll do one first. All right, so if you're on your toolbox, you go to the customer persona generator. And this is going to help us find out who our customer is and what they want to hear. So this is what I say to everyone, when it comes to AI, it's the best, but you have to feed it the right information. It's not a human where they can kind of fill in blanks and know what you're talking about. You have to lay things out clearly. So it's kind of like a diet. Like if you want to start losing weight, you got to eat the right food. Garbage in equals garbage out. So when it comes to AI, the prompt is everything. I'm sure Trevor covered this on the first, but just in case you forgot, the prompts are you're telling your AI to write about. So let's just make up a fictional company of apparel, sports apparel. So I'll say I have a sports apparel company. Custom sports, actually, custom sport apparel. It doesn't matter, okay. Company?
Yeah.
My audience is usually men from age 25 to 40, because we know the general information about our customers, like who's buying, right?
Ages what?
25 to 45. And then just fill in some more like details, Josh, like I want to sell through Instagram with them, to them. They're located in Canada.
Do you have to be on that site to do what you're doing?
Yeah, so this is what Smashing Pixels created for Two Rivers specifically, but there are, of course, other AI tools you can use. I like this one because you'll see when it works that it's really good. Okay.
But in order to do what you're doing, do we have to be on that Two Rivers website?
Yeah, so if you go to tworivers.com.
Two Rivers Digital Toolbox.ca.
Oh, okay.
What is that?
Two Rivers Digital Toolbox. .ca. Okay, so retype that quickly. So any information you do know, and like we don't know a ton about our customers at this point, but we do know if it's men or women buying for us, or maybe it's both, or we do know generally the ages. So just type, oh, did it pop up?
Yeah. Where's the thing?
Yeah.
This one. Is it called Two Rivers?
Two Rivers, yeah.
Capital?
Yeah, the
I put in
AI.
there, I put selling ribbon skirts to women in
Stocks.
business name chick skirts.
Oh. Yeah, so you want to exactly type what you want, and sometimes you have to redo it a couple times. Like I usually don't use the first copy. It's similar to like when you're writing paper for school, you can't submit the first copy, you have to edit a little bit. And then I'll be like, oh, I didn't explain that I want an Instagram post for it. So rewrite, but with, make it for an Instagram post. You always need to change it a little bit. And now that a lot of people are using AI, you do oh my gosh, that's AI, that's AI, that's AI. So it is important, like this is an idea generator, and then you take it and add a little bit of your own language, because where we are
Oh,
is the seed. Where we are, we have our little sayings, right, in our area that they don't in other areas.
connect the skis.
I have no idea where you are right now.
Okay, so if you go to meet our AI team, what you said?
Hmm?
So if you go to the Two Rivers, everyone, so just give it a.
Did you take the digital bus?
Sorry, no.
I think, no.
It's okay.
Sweet. Okay, so if you go down to customer persona generator, that girl. Yeah, okay, so you type in your own business, meeting, so if you want. So we'll run through a quick example and then we'll do our own examples.
If you go to their website, it's on there. If you go to the website, it's on there too.
THROU.
Two
Alright,
Rivers
so
dot
enter that
ca
in,
dot
let's see what it comes
com.
out. So sometimes it will give you a business name, like you mentioned, Sherry. Okay, so here's the goal. So business name, so I could have put the business name. That's what I mean about sometimes you have to edit yourself. I could have said, oh, my business is called Sherry Sports Apparel. Product is sports apparel. Ideal customers, men 25 to 45 in Canada. And then it kind of gives us a little bit of insight into my customer. They value fitness and they lead an active lifestyle. They're looking for high quality, stylish sports apparel that enhances performance and provide comfort. So if I were to, and we'll do this a little bit later, this is a really important part. They're looking, because it tells you what your customers are looking for in this example. And then it kind of breaks down what we would call a customer avatar. So sometimes with our businesses, it's nice you might have more than one customer avatar, so you name the person. So with this, I'm speaking to someone named Active Andy. He's 30, his income 70,000 per year. He has a college degree, he lives in Toronto. And then it kind of goes into some psychographic information and goals. He values health and fitness. He pursues personal goals, self-improvement. His interests are the gym, running, sports, outdoor activities. Lifestyle, he's health conscious, active lifestyle, maintains a balanced work-life routine. And personality traits would be disciplined, goal-oriented, competitive, fashion conscious. So why does this help us? When we are creating our social media posts, we come back to him. So we're like, okay, Andy, oh yeah, he values health and fitness. Okay, I'm gonna do a picture of a 30-year-old male that looks like he lives in Toronto maybe on a trail because he's active and all this stuff. And it's gonna be a nice looking shirt. So when it comes to the marketing, you kind of know who you're speaking to, and then you can create your post based on who you're speaking to. So his goals would be stay motivated and committed to the fitness routine, improve health or improve athletic and performance and reach new fitness milestones. But he wants to look stylish and feel confident. Sports apparel, and he stays up to date with fitness trends. Okay, so go down. Goals, it's important, but not super important. Pain points is important. This is literally, whether you're in person or online, this is where you're gonna make the sales. If you can speak to your customer's pain point, it's done. So for a library, the pain point might be, my kids are on screens all the time and I don't want them to be, but as soon as I take it away, what do they say? I'm bored. So you're gonna create stuff based on the pain point. So for him, finding high quality, durable sports apparel that can withstand intense workouts. I don't know about workout clothing, but I guess it probably is important that you have comfortable, durable sport like shirts while you're working out because you're moving. Actually, I do know because I did play on soccer teams and sometimes the jerseys were good and sometimes they were horrible. And it actually does make a difference. But you want to be stylish. His lack of motivation to stay consistent with fitness routines is a pain point, and not being able to find sports apparel that reflects his personality, his style, and his preference. So here's 4 things about Andy. That's from our customer avatar that we know will speak to him. So you don't necessarily have to use all of this to speak to him. You can go to the first point. So if you went, can you open another tab and then go to your social media ideas?
It gets saved though.
If you open a whole new tab, it won't save it.
No, you'll save it regardless. Out of one of-
So just go on Facebook, who cares?
You right click.
Let's go with the plus sign right there.
Okay. Sorry, guys, I don't know. Max that one.
No, no, Max.
We're in the same tab.
Okay,
Yeah, okay. So copy and paste, yeah, go to social media, go back, copy and paste. So everything I do, I always work on 2 tabs because it just makes it way easier. Copy and paste this first pain point. Finding high quality, durable. Okay, so hold on, don't, okay, so say, okay, just a period. Create 3 captions for my sports apparel company for Instagram based on this pain point.
well, it'll automatically create a set number of captions.
Okay,
But I need captions.
yeah. For my apparel company using this pain point. Again, they don't know this is the pain point, right? So you have to be very clear with your prompts.
So what are you doing again? What is that?
So I went to another, and we'll kind of dive into this a little bit later, a little more, social media ideas. So I opened another tab so I can
Okay.
just keep copying and pasting, but I just want to show you why the pain points is
Yes.
like really good material.
So you just copied and pasted that one pinpoint into.
Thank
Yeah.
You're gonna find it, let's tell you.
And then it's like, it's copy and repeat after that, because you have 4 pain points, you do the same thing. The reason why it's good is because, think about anytime you buy anything, you have a pain point.
I think that's what you were
So like, if I buy a pair of shoes, my pain point is my pair of shoes wore out, so I need another pair of shoes. Or maybe it's, I need a comfortable pair of shoes because I have bad hips, like you don't know.
Pain point though.
Yeah.
Put it in,
It's pain point.
it's not gonna understand the word pain point.
It will.
Doesn't matter.
Gives point.
Put it in,
Quotes.
yeah. No, this in quotes, the statement in quotes.
Right.
Send.
All right.
Are we good with it, Sherry?
Yeah, that looks good. So now it's gonna give a handful of content captions that we can use, and then we just have to match a picture to go with it. So here, so again, our pain point is we need to find high quality durable sports apparel that can withstand intense workout, because Andy is an intense workout enthusiast. Topic, so you don't have to copy topic, but this would be your introduction. Introducing our high performance gear collection. So right away, that's telling Andy, oh, high performance, that means you can withstand intense workouts. You can say, so here's your audience, fitness enthusiasts, but here's the caption. Upgrade your workout gear with our high performance collection that can handle everything, even the toughest training sessions. So that answers the pain point. So his pain is like, oh, I hate my shirts that I've been wearing, they're low quality, it can't handle my workouts. The first sentence is, it's going to handle even the toughest training session. And then your immediate recommendation is, what kind of picture should you have? High quality image showcasing the durability. So it could be a guy working out or running or whatever. But that is the caption that's going to make him stop the scroll, because he's going to be like, oh, this is, how did you know that was my pain point? So if you go to the next one, the caption, don't let weak workout clothes hold you back. Unleash your potential with our high quality active wear that's built to last. So all of these like keywords, built to last, high quality, don't let weak workout clothes, that's hitting his pain point as he's strolling around. So go back to the other one, please. What we're going to do is, for every single pain point, you do this. You copy and paste every single one, boom, you have all of your captions for a whole month. We're not going to do that right now. But the second thing is limited options for style. Actually, yeah, copy one more and then.
So what this one?
So the second pain point, limited options for stylish and performance enhancing sports apparel on the market, which I can attest to, they're all pretty ugly. So you're going to do something very similar to this.
Okay, it'll know already.
I need captions for my sports apparel company for Instagram using this pain point.
Scroll. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, so there we go. break free from limited options. So again, right away, as we're scrolling, it's gonna stop and be like, oh, I have limited options. That's why I hate my workout clothing. Elevate your style and performance with our unique sportswear that's designed to make a statement. So in this one, it's not talking about durable or high quality. It's just talking about your fashion. So, and then again, don't compromise on style or performance. Discover a trend-setting activewear collection that combines fashion-forward designs with high-performance features. All right, so let's do this with your businesses. Who wants to go? We can do it on screen and then you can do your own. Does anyone want to volunteer?
We need to clear
So
before
let's clear that. Let's start again.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're doing screen.
the one that I was thinking about was, renting the stand-up boards.
okay.
Okay, rent stand-up boards, customers, women ages 16-65 in Ontario. Value fitness and lead active lifestyles on the water.
So like a paddleboard?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, so let's go to our customer generator. So you go to the main page again. Say, yeah, I sell stand-up paddleboards.
We have to-
The other thing is, it doesn't have to be the best spelling, because it's AI, it knows what you're talking about. Okay, I sell stand-up
Is
paddleboards,
it sell or rent?
or rent, sorry.
Right.
And would it be mainly women who are doing it, or men? Is
It's both.
Both?
but,
Okay.
I would say there's more women than men.
Liquid.
Yeah. I agree with that, because I see a lot of women like on the thing. Just say, I rent stand-up paddleboards, if you're looking for something fun to do on Saturday afternoon. This is a fun activity. Then from there, we'll put it in and see what kind of customer persona. So here we go. Okay, again, we forgot to put the business name. That's okay. All right, product service, stand-up paddleboard rentals. Our ideal customer is an active individual who enjoys spending time outdoors. Even with that horrible prompt, it knows this. So our ideal customer is an active individual who enjoys spending time outdoors and is looking for a fun and adventurous activity to do on Saturday afternoon. They are likely between the ages of 24 and 40, residing in beach or waterfront areas. They have a moderate to high level of income, and they completed probably a college education. They value experiences, fitness, and nature. So that's actually pretty accurate when I think about my paddleboarding friends. All right, so let's look at their persona. They're between the ages 24 to 40 or 25 to 40. Male and female do it, income moderate to high. So this kind of stuff doesn't necessarily matter, but the reason the age or the gender does, because when you're doing the pictures, you want to speak to the people you're most likely targeting. All right, number 2, psychographic information. They value experiences, fitness, and nature. Interests, outdoor activities, water sports, fitness, and exploring new places. Lifestyle, they're probably pretty active and health conscious, and personality traits, adventurous, outgoing, socially, and environmentally conscious. Okay, so their goals, that's great. Let's go to the pain points because that's the gold. Okay, number 2 would be the one for me, but let's go through them. Limited access to water sport or outdoor activities in their area, which paddleboards are very expensive. So if you don't know you like it, are you really gonna buy one before you try one? Lack of equipment for outdoor activities. Difficult finding new and exciting ways to enjoy leisure time, and not having a suitable activity to spend time with friends or family. So let's go to number 2. We'll copy that, and then we'll go to the other page, which is social media ideas. So you can say, I rent paddleboards, or here's the pain, like, yeah, my company is something like that. Like, I rent paddleboards. My customer's pain point is create social media captions for me.
Go back to the other one first. Just get the age demographic. Demographic. Copy the whole one. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna copy the demographic info. All right. So here's a bunch of topics. So here's your title, Discover the Joy of Paddleboarding. And this is to your audience, outdoor enthusiasts. And then your caption is, dive into the crystal waters and experience the thrill of paddleboarding. So you're sharing a vibrant photo of someone paddleboarding against a beautiful backdrop. So it'd be like, say, the Grand River. Now, should you share images of someone on the ocean? Probably not, because it's like that little disconnect doesn't make sense in our brains. So you want to make sure you're doing it, like, even if it's a picture from like Pexels or Unsplash, you want to make sure it's more of a river, not like this beautiful, gorgeous, like Mediterranean picture. Number 2, unwind and connect with nature on a peaceful paddleboarding journey. The caption number 3 is take your yoga practice to the next level by balancing on the paddleboard. That would be really hard. All right, number 4, create unforgettable memories with your loved ones while paddleboarding. And then number 5, discover how easy it is to learn paddleboarding with our beginner-friendly tips. So number 6, embrace an active lifestyle while paddleboarding and strengthen your body. So you're kind of more speaking to fitness people. If you're speaking to like a perfect date night activity, spice up your date nights with paddleboarding adventure and watch the sparks fly. Number 8, immerse yourself in the mesmerizing beauty of sunsets while paddleboarding. Number 9, dive into vibrant paddleboarding community and forge lifelong friendships. So there's like a whole bunch, I'm not gonna read all of them, but that's like a bunch of stuff you can share over the next month again. So it makes it really, really easy. So let's go back to the customers. So when you're speaking, because you don't want to speak to people who aren't buying it. So you're not gonna speak to someone who like maybe is like disabled in a wheelchair. So you're going to, everything's gonna match who you're speaking to. It's gonna be pictures of people who look like that. It's gonna be obviously water areas. Here's your pain points. Okay, can you go down again? Okay, so the other cool thing about this generator is it shows what the communication preferences is for your demographic. So it says most people like Instagram and Facebook, and that tracks with what we know about 25 to 40-year-olds. Their main platforms of choice is Instagram and Facebook. They will receive information through e-newsletters and blog articles. They like videos and photos, which I think everyone likes. And then they will appreciate personalized and timely responses to inquiries. So if they reach out to you, they do want an answer. Okay, so buying habits, it doesn't necessarily pertain to this because we're renting, but they might check out a rental price versus buying, like from Costco or wherever you get these things. And then brand attitudes, whatever, just what do they value the quality of? So this kind of shows who you're speaking to. So when you're creating your emails, your website, or your social media posts, you're kind of looking and be like, okay, does this picture fit the avatar? Can you say create an avatar based on this?
Let's see. So,
AR, yeah. Okay, so active adventurer Alex. So there's again someone who lives in a coastal city, which for us it's just near the Grand River. A male, 30 years old. Here's what he values, like his psychographic info. Here's his goals. Here's his pain points. Limited access to water sports or activities. So based on this, you kind of read that and you're like, okay, how does my media, how does like my marketing speak to him? And then you kind of look over everything you've written. You're like, yeah, that makes sense for Alex. It totally speaks to him, because the problem is if we're trying to speak to every single person, we won't sell to anyone. So there's an important saying that says you speak to one or you speak to none. And it doesn't mean you might not have different avatars, but you just don't want to be speaking to Alex, who's like 30 and active, and then the family over here, and like the couple who wants a romantic adventure over here. Like each post speaks to one thing, one pain point, or one person. All right, so let's do this for you. You can take a few minutes. So give the AI as best of a prompt as possible. So say what your business name is, write what you supply, and any information you do know. So if you know your thing is mainly moms, then just say mainly speaking to moms. Or if it's like, you know, young kids under 20, say my main audience is under 20. So we'll just take a few minutes to do that. And if you guys need help on Zoom, Josh can help you, so just comment. And if you guys here need help kind of going through things. Have you guys all used AI before? Yeah, it's sweet.
I was trying to do it and for work
Yeah.
and use it, make a PowerPoint for me.
Oh, yeah. And how did it work?
Well, it was right on, like,
Oh, sweet.
it was good on what it was doing, but I wanted it to make me a chart. It won't make a chart.
Okay, yeah.
A chart as in a visual chart? Why don't you talk to these guys about it and we'll get right on that.
Well, it was for work, not for my business, but
I mean, but hey, it works, whatever.
Yeah.
I just thought.
Might need it for your business.
I just thought it'd be easier than me going into PowerPoint, making the chart. I thought it
Yeah.
would just make it there, and copy and paste it.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
Like, it gave me how to make a chart
Okay, I feel like step by step. You're like, just make.
and when I could put in the chart.
Yeah. Yeah, it still needs human touch, like, it's not there yet where it could like spit out everything.
But I thought it
in
was
my
pretty
opinion,
cool
but-
about it, like, cause I said, make a chart on decision making, and it was like,
Oh, cool.
it gave me a lot of decisions, and then I said, well, okay, and I was trying to tell it, pick a decision, then I
Yeah,
put in a decision that I said for cell phones, and it just gave me all decisions on how to buy a cell phone.
yeah, it can figure out the chart, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I use it sometimes, for stuff like that, like, not for this talk, ironically, because I already had it kind of done, but sometimes I'll be like, hey, I'm speaking about, you know, AI and social media, what are some points I need to touch on? It's like, perfect, and then you kind of make it yourself with your own stories and stuff, but.
It actually came up with some really good topics for social media.
Yeah, do you want to share?
Like it said, celebrating indigenous culture through fashion,
Oh, good one.
and then, supporting indigenous artists, shop local,
Good one.
indigenous fashion icons, suitable, sustainable fashion, native cultural edition.
We'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll move on to the next. And can you go back to my PowerPoint, please? Okay, so the most important thing, like I mentioned previously, is the customer-centric content is the most important part. Because again, we can speak to ourselves, but we might not be, we're not obviously our target audience. And sometimes even worse than speaking to ourselves, we're speaking to people who will never buy. So for instance, one idea that happened, I took a screenshot of it, but I didn't add it into this PowerPoint,
It's still stuck.
is a little while ago, I got a Facebook ad for a sandwich that was in Bracebridge. It's like, I'm not driving 3 hours for a $5 sandwich. So I'm like, the ad was right, but it wasn't to their target audience. Their target audience lived in Bracebridge, so they didn't set that. So that's why your customer-centric content is cool.
Okay.
Redo it.
Your picture has to speak to the audience and your copy, your text has to speak to the audience. when you're considering your content, you have to take your pitch from me, what I like, what I think is important about my business to them. And a lot of times, again, it's the pain points will be the content that you need. They only care about themselves. Just like when we're scrolling, we're not necessarily going to start reading a blog that doesn't pertain to us. Like I don't have an animal. I'm not going to start reading blogs about how to take care of a dog. I don't have a dog. So that article is not going to pertain to me. But if it said how to take care of plants, I'd be like, oh, because I kill plants. So it has to speak to the person. So whenever you're creating content, just pause and use that toolbox. It is a gold mine. Who are you speaking to? Who are you speaking to? And then reread it. Be like, would this speak to a 30-year-old who wants to be active and starts paddleboarding? Yeah, it would? Okay, publish it. All right, so the glue that holds it all together is the next slide. It's called consistency. Oh, sorry, that was just a reminder, so I didn't go to the slide. Next slide.
I would type
Consistency
information.
is everything. So you can have
Oh.
an amazing social media post.
Stare at the
If
top.
you only put it on once a month,
Scroll.
you're not getting in front
The other
of
one,
anybody
I typed it
essentially.
in there, it
You
would
have to
change its
post
date on,
all the time.
I put this topic.
You can have, so a lot of people I know get stuck
Press
on,
enter.
especially entrepreneurs, I find. They're perfectionists. So they're like, I can't post yet. It's not perfect. Oh, the graphic isn't perfect. The text isn't perfect. It probably will never be perfect. And also what's perfect to me might not be perfect to you. And Sheryl Sandberg, who is one of the founders of Facebook, says something like, perfection isn't everything. Done is better than perfect. So when it comes to your social media, again, we have other things to do. We have a life and a business to run and things to do. So that sitting for an hour creating the perfect post means nothing.
Thank you.
Consistency is the name of the game when it comes to posting on social media. Every social media platform has an algorithm and it feeds people what they want to see. So the more you nail down your audience, the more your stuff will go in front of said audience. Because Facebook or TikTok or whatever is gonna be like, oh, they're into paddleboarding, start feeding her paddleboarding stuff. Probably because I keep saying paddleboarding and my phone's right here, I'm gonna start getting paddleboarding stuff. So it knows what we like and it will keep, that's the other important part about speaking to your audience. It knows what they're searching for and they'll feed it to them. That's why you have to be feeding somebody. Next slide, please. This is the only time I ever say quantity is better than quality. So it's all about quantity because you can literally have the perfect social media post and everyone will think it's the best. But if you only do one of those a month, you're still only getting in front of like 2% of your audience. But if you post every single day for 30 days, all of a sudden you're getting in front of thousands, not just 20 or 100.
For your last point, the algorithm, will it help? How about location? Should you always be tagging your town or your city if that's what you're?
I tag a lot, the city I want to get into. So I feel like I'm pretty well established in Brantford and Norfolk. So now I'm starting to tag Cambridge because I want to get in front of Cambridge people. So it definitely matters.
So tags that I would use or location tags?
So you're on Instagram, you know how you scroll down, it'll say like Brantford, Brant, whatever. You tag who you need to be in front of. So wherever the library is located, don't tag the library because no one's searching for the specific library location, but your city like Oshweekon would be the place to be. Yeah. And hashtags would work too for that. So because that kind of counts as a keyword. Yeah, the algorithm knows best. So, all right, quantity over quality. It's just a simple math equation. If you have 1 over 30 months versus, 30 days compared to 30 posts over 30 days, obviously everyday posting is going to get the eyes on you and everything's about eyes. And then your content is about stopping the scroll. It's hard to come up with an idea, which is why if you go back to the toolbox, we have the social media idea generator. So we did it based on our consumer, if you want to go to that page. We did it based on and copied some pain points, but let's just do some generic ones.
Safari.
Yeah, Safari, I use Safari. Okay, yeah, clear that. So this could be, instead of like being specific with the customer persona, let's just do general. So say I'm a librarian.
Do you want social media ideas?
Yeah, sorry, yes, go to the social media ideas. I think it was this one.
Yeah, just clear.
I need video ideas for my social media content. Please provide. Okay, so here it's gonna give you a whole list of what to do. So the pain points was really, really good, but you don't always want the same type of posts because that doesn't stop the scroll. So you need a little bit of different stuff. So now we went from like a static post, like a pain point post, to some video ideas. So this might be good, a book recommendation. So I don't know if you would like to get on camera or if anyone in the library would like to get on camera.
Others on there, the CEO, I think, maybe.
Okay, so you go and set up the camera and just be like, hey, here's 3 book ideas. Because Google, I'm on Goodreads, so it'll be like, oh, again, with the algorithm, books you might be interested in because I like these books, so like beats them. So it could be like, hey, if you love James Patterson, you might like, I don't know who's like him, like John Grisham or something, whoever another odd. So it's just like easy links. So book recommendations, that's your video, like, hey, are you a book lover? Here's 5 recommendations you need to read for 2024. And then you go through, and even if you don't want to be on camera, you can do a voiceover. So on Instagram, if you go into Reels, you could just like do kind of the slideshow. So say it's like 7 husbands of Evelyn
That's what
Hugo.
I'm doing.
Yeah, so then you don't have to be on camera. It's a little more comfortable. Although I do encourage you to get on camera. So then it's a way you can do a voiceover. It's like, boom, you see all your book recommendations. Another one, author interview. Do you have any aspiring writers in the area? And sometimes we do. Get exclusive behind the scenes interview with the author. A library tour, that might be good because so many people have anxiety nowadays. I find for social media, I'm always telling people if you're a church, if you're a government building, if you're a library, walk with your camera and be like, okay, when you get to the library, you're going to open these doors. To the left, it's all the books. To the right, the computer, and then movies or games you can rent, and just kind of give like a little walkthrough. Just so people know what they're walking into before they get into it.
Do people have a lot of social anxiety?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like getting, and especially COVID, like,
I just heard it on the radio, so I'm like, is this true?
yeah, it's true. So, and like I have family members with anxiety where it's like they will research menus and all this kind of stuff before they walk into anywhere. That's the only reason I realize this is an issue. So to do that, so people know exactly, they can visualize what they're walking into, and that could be for any of our businesses. Story time, families with young children. Oh, that would be fun, a little video of reading like a fun children's book, especially if it's short. Book highlight, so if you have book members, like I don't know what kind of programs you have, but it could just be like, hey, here's some discussions we're having about Pride and Prejudice or whatever. And of course, library events. So anyway, these are all video ideas. If you clear that and say, I'm a librarian, we need social media content, let's see what it comes up with. So again, if you're really, really with your prompts, really specific, like I need video ideas, it's gonna spit out only video ideas. If you're a little more generic, like this one is, let's see what happens. So kind of similar at first, book recommendations, of course, as a library, that's going to be like your number 1 content. Author spotlight, actually, that would be really cool. If you had like, say, John Grisham, just because I know he has like 35,000 books. You're like, here's John Grisham, here's what, or James Patterson might be a better idea. Here's James Patterson, he writes kind of suspense novels, but if you like strong female leads, you're going to want the one with all the numbers, you know, like, I don't know, anyway, he has books with numbers. Or if you're a child, you're going to want this, whatever. So it can kind of show how sometimes authors have different genres within. Trivia time, that would be fun for a book nerd like myself, maybe not for anyone else. You're like, okay, so if you said like what book was set in the 1940s and like in the bayou or something like that, and then people would be like, oh, Tom Sawyer, or I don't know if that's even true. So that would kind of be fun, a little multiple choice questions. You could do that with the carousel. Reading recommendations for kids or anybody, because that obviously, even me, like you walk into the library, there's literally thousands of books to choose from, and it's like, ooh, what do I like again? And you can't think of anything. I'm talking about James Patterson because I just finished his book, but I know I like other authors. So that would be really cool. Like, hey, if you have kids under 5, here are 3 new books that you might, or like here's a theme for Christmas time, because you know how libraries has like the seasonal section. Book club discussion, same kind of thing. Hey, we're discussing this book. Creative writing prompts, because a lot of readers do like to write, so that would actually kind of be a unique thing. Meet the librarian, can you scroll down? That would be cool because if you are into having your picture online, just because it kind of makes people a little more comfortable with you to be able to be like, oh, you kind of are into what I'm into. Hey, I love Jodi Picoult, and who's like her? And you can be like, oh, I love her too, but then I started reading so-and-so. Literary quotes. I love quotes on social media, and they're still a thing, so I think you should jump on that trend. Book release announcement, that'd be really good. Exciting news, blah, blah, is becoming, highly anticipated book now available. And reading challenges, I like challenges, so that's why I joined Goodreads. But you can do content around that. So that's just a whole bunch. That's like 10 things. And if you did one a day, that's 10 days. Or if you only do it 3, I always suggest at least 3 times a week you should be posting on social media. So that would almost take you like 3 weeks. So that's awesome. Anyone else want to run through an idea? Do you want to do the ribbon skirt idea? You might have to tell AI a little bit more information about that. So go to the AI, please, Haley. Yeah. All right, publishing. So basically, if you take a few minutes, run through your own thing. So my, just the content prompt you can use is, I need content ideas for, and then to say what your business is for ribbon skirts or for a library for whatever, and then it'll spit out a bunch. You go back to and just on this side, go down. I just want to see if I have one more. Oh yeah, next slide. Okay, so when it comes to content, I already said you have to stop the scroll. Now, if you have the same content all the time, the same picture, you're not going to stop any scroll because people will just be like, I already seen it. I know what that is. There are types of content you can do. And we have these papers. Are they in there? You can hand out. Yeah, if you want to take one, pass it on. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is something I use. That's why it's so ugly, because it's just what I use. I use epic things. Content calendar ideas. So there's a few different types of content you can do. Selling, education, personality, entertainment, user-generated content. So when it comes to selling, that's your hard sell. And that's kind of like the pain point content that we ran through. Like, do you want a paddleboard? We have the answer for you. Rent before you buy, because you don't want to invest thousands and find out you have no balance. Education is like, hey, why is paddleboarding fun? It strengthens your core. It gets you outside. You get vitamin D from the sun. Like, you kind of are educating people why paddleboarding is fun. Personality would be like the yoga one to me. Or just like, hey, you love being outside? Paddleboarding is what you need to do, rent from us. Entertainment is just fun stuff. So like you can share just funny memes, funny videos, anything that's kind of entertaining. And user-generated content, this is the gold. If you can get your customers to start bragging about you on social media, and some will be easier than others, paddleboarding would be so easy for someone like to take a picture while they're on the paddleboard and just tag you. You want to reshare that information. So user-generated content is when users of your product or of your service share on your behalf. A lot of times you have to encourage people to do that, because it's not like I do it because I'm in the business, but like when I go out with my sisters, they're not tagging anybody if they're even taking pictures. So when they like rent your board or whatever, just be like, hey, make sure you tag us in the pictures, make sure you do this, make sure you tag us, or comment, let us know that you've done this.
Have your hashtag on your boards or whatever.
Yes. Hashtag on the board would be a sweet idea. And especially if you gamify it, like, hey, win a free paddleboard, rental, yeah, or like for Saturday or for the weekend, and we'll pick out of the hashtags for the month of August. Get people to share on behalf of you. Because it's one thing for me to be like, I sell the best burgers in the world. But it's a whole other thing if someone else is like, oh my gosh, these burgers are amazing. They're the best in the world. Who are you going to believe? Me, who's going to get obviously paid for the burgers, or the person who just was like, this is amazing. So these are some content that's amazing. And you want to kind of do them throughout the week. So on your list here, I don't have user generated because that's something you can't control. We have selling, education, product, service or highlight, personality. That's when you kind of show yourself as the business owner, or entertainment or other, just in case there's more. You will do, say the month is January, you don't only want to do selling posts because no one goes online to be sold to. So like I always say 20% of your content can be the hard sell, like buy today, or limited time only. The rest has to be stuff that's kind of fun to consume. So when you're selling, so say, I should have put on here, but say on like January 1st, I did a selling post. Then January 2nd, I want to do a personality post. Then January 3rd, I'm going to do something about a product highlight or service highlight. So the personality just might be a little bit about me. Hey, I'm Sherry. I own Purple Bean Media. A little bit about me is I like to read. This is the book I just finished reading last night. And then education posts would be something like this. Like I'll probably take this video and cut a little bit. So, and like one of the better sections of the talk, I'll cut that and that will be my informational or educational post for the day. Product, service, or highlight. This is different from selling. All you're showing is a one specific thing from your business. So it could be like a design you did for the beads. It could be anything. So. Entertainment, again, it's just jokey stuff that people like. Like this is where the trends come in, especially if you don't mind getting on camera. Like if you see, actually, funny enough, if you're on TikTok, they always have these characters. So maybe it will be like Michael Scott from The Office yelling into the camera or something, and it will just be him cut out of his background, and then you can put a picture behind him. So it's like a green screen type of thing. So then you don't necessarily have to be, but it's trending and it's hilarious because it's usually like funny moments of like TV or cinema that we remember. So this would be for the month, and you can copy this exact thing. Then you can be like, okay, I have 31 posts for the month of January. I did 5 hard selling posts. I did 7 personality posts, a few entertainment posts, whatever. So it's just a way. So this basically wraps up the talk, I think, if you go to the next slide. Perfection kills marketing. Unless you're literally going on TV where you want it to be perfect, or maybe a billboard, when it comes to social media, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. You just have to be doing it because, again, people are scrolling. So like people who spend half an hour on one post, you're wasting time because this is what people are doing. Cool, next, cool, next. So that's why it's like, if you spend a few minutes, try and make it right. The more you do it, the better you'll get. But if you spend too much time, the return just isn't going to make sense because what they're going to remember is your overall generic. She sells paddleboards. She sells skirts. She sells books. Okay, any questions? Okay, so if you go back to your Two Rivers website.
I have one question. How much time do you think, does it all depend? You should be.
So yeah, it depends. So that's why, again, with this mix, your hard sell, you want it to be better than just a funny entertainment post. So it really depends. The more you do it, the better you'll get. When it comes to doing like a slideshow about 5 books you need to read in 2024, that won't be too hard because you just will go on Google and be like, what are 5 books that are being released this year? So you'll just take the picture and make it a slideshow. But if you're doing a talk that's like going to be 90 seconds about why each book, you need to read each book, doing the research about the book might take a little bit of time. But I would say a few hours a month. And again, the more you do it, the more you don't have to think about it. It'll just be like, hey, I'm on the way, I'm walking to my doctor's office and guess what? I know I'm going to wait for 35 minutes, even though they would charge me $100 if I made them hold for 35 minutes. I brought a book. And that would be 5 seconds. So it really depends. Once you kind of get into the content mindset, it does get a lot easier, especially if you don't mind being on camera. When you don't want to be on camera, it does take a little bit more because then you have to go on Canva, create things, and you have to try a little harder with your copy and text. So when it comes, let's pop onto social media product and descriptions. So on here we have product, service, or highlight. Sometimes we use the same words because we're in our business and we know what we have. So say like I made, so my service would be social media management. I use the same words over and over. Social media management, that's my keyword. But you might Google it, or you might be looking for another word, which off the top of my head, I can't think of one. So what would you call social media management? Like someone to Facebook, I don't know, Haley, help me out here. I'm blank. So just like someone looking, I need Facebook help. So that's what you might be talking about, but I'm always saying social media management, social media management. So this helps give a description of your either product or service. So let's talk about, who has products here then? You do with your art, right? Do you want to do an example?
Sure.
Okay, so what's an example?
I do mandala art.
Okay, so say, yeah, I create mandala art. Please describe for my
Sorry for my misspelling here, but do you
man, DELA.
DALA.
DALA?
Yes.
Okay, I create mandala art.
Create some product descriptions.
I love mandala.
And you can be really specific. You can say like 5-foot mandala arts, you can be like for the window, like. So let's stay generic and then we'll kind of dive in a little more. So they're giving you a bunch of different ways to describe it. And you tell us if it's accurate. Okay, introducing our mesmerizing mandala wall tapestry. Immerse yourself in a world of beauty, tranquility, and harmony with our exquisite collection of handcrafted mandala art. Picture this, you walk into your living room space and your eyes are instantly drawn to the captivating colors and intricate patterns of our stunning tapestry hanging effortlessly on your wall.
That's
Is
a
that
good point. That's good.
generic? Okay, so that it works, yay. All right, from the moment you lay eyes on our tapestry, you'll be transported to a place of ultimate serenity. Each delicate brush stroke and every meticulous detail have been carefully crafted to evoke feelings of peace, love, and awakening. Would it be a brush stroke?
Dots.
Okay, so that would be something you'd have to change. That's why you never just copy and paste blindly, read it, it just takes 2 seconds. So it would be dots, yeah. But wait, there's more. Down the wall, so it keeps talking about a wall. Do they always go into walls?
Yeah, usually.
Okay,
The
so it's the dot?
canvases. Yeah.
Okay, sweet, okay. It's not a piece of art, it's a portal to a world of unlimited inspiration and creativity. Imagine sitting in front of it each day, exploring the hidden meanings behind the symbols and colors. Watch. Okay, again, when I say we have to reread like colors, that's the American version. And AI is always American, so we want to make sure we're doing the Canadian color with the U. Watch as your mind bursts with fresh ideas, making even the simplest of tasks magical and exciting. So these are all product descriptions. You can use them on your website if you needed to, or you can use them online. So again, one thing about maybe mandala, we're just like, oh, it's a wall art. I don't know, what do you say? Like, it's colorful, but they kind of make it a little more like elevated, captivating colors, intricate patterns. So, all right. And let's see if we can be a little more specific. So say each mandala piece is like, what's your average, like 3 feet? Can it be really big?
16 by 20
Okay, say 16 by 20.
inches.
So the inches sign?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so now it's a little more specific. So it's like, it has a generic description, but it's telling you, your audience, hey, by the way, this is how big it is. Because you know when you go online and you buy something and then you get it and it's like, come on. There's hilarious things about that. Okay, attention art lovers, presenting art and buying 16 by 20 inch mandala artwork. This, okay, so only oh, there we go. Don't settle for less than ordinary with our 16 by 20 mandala artwork. You're purchasing not just a piece of art, you're investing in a testament of unique style and personality. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. So basically, you put all your products there. So maybe you want to be a little more specific because you know what kind of work you do. I've seen them and I've never like dove into if some are only like certain colors or if some are like historic based on like history or based on like a creative story.
Just whatever colors that you like, basically. I use all colors.
Okay. So that's what you can do. So again, if you want to be more specific, be more specific. Like if one day you only use red and blue, you'd be like, this piece is only red and blue, and then it's going to spit out that kind of stuff. Do we want to go through another one? Product description?
Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. So when it comes to product
Anybody
descriptions, your website will have them, especially if you sell online. So you want to use that for that. But for social media, because again, sometimes we get stuck saying the same thing over and over. You're like, I don't know, it's art on the wall. Like, I like doing it, and now what? But they will give you like a bunch of different ways to say the same message. And you don't know, like this one might not speak to me, but this might be like, ooh, that's ultimate serenity. That's what I'm looking for. So you're gonna hit different people with different words.
Hmm.
Okay, anyone online, you wanna share what your jobs are, and we can try and do some product descriptions for you? Do we have any tradesmen? Can you see anybody what people are saying? No, okay. Okay, cool. So when it comes to headlines, let's go to there. Social media, especially, does anyone run ads here, social media ads? No? Okay, so sometimes your headline is what's going to stop someone and stop the scroll. This could be an ad, or it can just be like the top of your sentence. So when you're scrolling, hold on, now I have to find someone with a, okay, so here's a picture of a woman's, it's her birthday. If she had a headline at the front of that giant text, it would really help me, because no one's reading, and this is so bad, and it is what it is. No one's reading that much without being grabbed. It's similar to the video, the first 3 seconds have to matter. Your first headline, your first line of the social media post has to matter. So let's put something in. So here it says, looking to level up your headlines, crush your competition with our help. So that's a strong headline. All right, so what's an example? You want to do, what would be a headline for publishing?
So we're gonna make your dreams come true?
Okay, so let's type in, I'm a publisher. Speaking to local authors, probably, say, okay. And again, if we wanted to do the long form, we go into here, get all the information. From that information, we do this, but let's just shortcut it right now. I'm a publisher speaking to local authors, create some social media headlines for me. Okay, so as an aspiring author, these might stop you in your, so as you're scrolling, it's gonna stop the scroll. Number 1, boost your author brand on social media with these expert tips. How to use social media to connect. So this isn't relevant because we garbage in, garbage out. So we need to be a little more specific, I think. So let's say, don't worry about social media. Oh, I know, because we said social media headlines, okay. So I'm gonna say again, I am a publisher speaking to local authors. I need content for social media. Or just, I need content ideas. This one's good, get noticed, amplify your book promotion. All right, we're gonna need more information from you.
What a publisher is, it thinks it's all about promotion.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Okay, so what is a publisher? I would give you like a Word version of my book. And do you format it into a book, or what do you do?
Are you recruiting authors?
Yeah.
Do you have a website?
Like,
Yeah.
the audience.
You wanna pull up her website? And we just take your about section and dump it in.
Okay, good one.
What's your, hold on. It is.
Shelley?
Turtleback Publishing.
Turtle.
So you'd be promoting your works that you already published? Is that what it would be, your post would be for?
I think so. Well, we also have adult literacy too.
I get it, yeah.
Go with that.
Oh, sorry, can you go back for a sec?
Yep. This is her about page.
Okay, we're here to support literacy. Okay, go down a little bit more. Okay, go down. Does it say what you do specifically?
I checked this first bullet point.
Developing and sharing culture of relevant resources is the third
There you
on the right,
Just take the whole thing.
from the bottom.
go.
This one?
Yeah,
Sorry, I didn't see that. This one?
I'd say bottom, the next one.
Do you think like the bottom three?
You can highlight the whole thing. That's fine.
Alright, let's do
Take
that.
off.
Alright, I am a publisher. What should I say? Here are my. Here is some information. About. Say create. Headlines. Does that work?
Yeah, let's try. There we go. Okay, I love this because it's exactly who you're speaking to. So your target audience would be an Indigenous person. So other people will just keep scrolling. You don't want them to stop to scroll. That's gonna stop the author to be like, oh, wait, this is me. This is directly talking to me. So advocating for proper funding, breaking barriers, training Indigenous stream literacy providers. So these would be a really strong headline, which would stop the scroll. Uniting for change, advocacy and research. So what you would have to do is like, from there, you can copy that and then go to social media ideas and kind of spitball some of that. So let me just look at, Josh showed me the back end here. So these would be your keywords, and you can say like create some more, or you can say speak to aspiring, take this information and speak to aspiring authors, and then it will create more headlines.
Create more?
Yep. Now, and again, with this content calendar, you know you don't need to necessarily do this every single time. This might just be for your hard sell, or it might be for your product service highlight, not necessarily for every single post. So closing the divide, building bridges from awareness to action. Yeah, those are really good headliners. So again, it just right away speaks to specific people, and that's the point of a headline. You're gonna identify who you're speaking to and what you're speaking about. And then once they're like, oh yeah, this is totally me, then they'll read your block of text or watch your video. So yeah, so headline generators work. And again, it's just part of the strategy of stop the scroll, right? Because it's similar to video. If you start kind of wasting time talking about something that's not relevant to anyone, no one's going to read the rest of the text, or no one's going to click to your website because it's like, it's not relevant to me. But when they're like, oh, this is so relevant to me, this is me, that's what will make them click through. So, all right. So why don't we grab one of these,
Let's go through that.
highlight, and then we'll go to the social media ideas. So say I am a publisher, my focus is, and then copy and paste. Yeah, and then you can say create content or just enter. Okay, there we go. Now it's gonna give us a whole bunch of captions and what your picture should be. So celebrating Indigenous literacy heroes, who are your audience, your Indigenous youth, their families, educated supporters. Join us in recognizing these incredible individuals. So obviously you're gonna take that and then you have to match it with the picture of the person. So, nominate your hero today, and then maybe people will nominate people from around here. So I saw on driving up here, Brandon Ventura signs, like everyone loves him. He's such a local hero. So that would be one cool thing. And the other cool thing about that, if you're asking people to nominate your hero, you're asking for engagement. So instead of people just like scrolling by, it's saying, oh, I'm gonna heart this and I'm gonna actually comment because they missed my favorite local hero on the list. So anyway, you just kind of go through these and then boom, you have again, another 10 content ideas. So Indigenous book recommendations, authors, communities. Another cool thing I didn't touch on earlier, if you want more eyes on your page, partner with other people, like collaborate with them. So obvious to me, an obvious partnership are YouTube, like a publisher and someone who like rents out books for a living, like that's an easy partnership. So you could say together with, what's the library called?
Six Nations Public Library.
Okay, so together with Six Nations Public Library, we are inspiring Indigenous authors. And then not only will you get in front of her audience, you're gonna get in front of her audience, a nice little crossover, so you might pick up more followers. So if you scroll on my Instagram, you'll see sometimes I tag people. Let me see if I can give you an example here. Of course, lately I have not tagged anyone. But let's see. Okay, so on my podcast, this guy Jeff, he's a realtor. He joined me, so it says like Purple Bean Media collaborates with Jeff. So not only did he get in front of my audience because he was on my page, I'm linked to him and getting in front of his audience. So it just kind of makes the engagement, everything goes up because you're getting in front of people who might not have seen you, but this natural partnership works. So can you guys work together? That's, you know, or who else could you work with? Who else could you work with? So it's kind of interesting that way. Anyway, so here's a bunch of ideas. And the captions are really, really good. Discover the beauty of Indigenous languages. Now, sometimes on all AI, the hashtags are weird because they're trying to like put all of the keywords together. This actually works. Actually, that one does, that one does, that one does. Sometimes they don't. So you just read everything and make sure. And then you might want to hashtag like Oshweekend or wherever you're located. If you want to get into Brantford, hashtag Brantford, because you never know, that could get in front of the people from Brantford. So it depends on what you're trying to get in front of, but yeah. So do you think you'd be able to use some of these captions? Yeah. So again, that would just be some of your content ideas. It would be probably a little more education. When it comes to selling, you want to be specific. Like if you're an author, come to me. But this is just other ideas you want to put, because we want to have at least 15 or 12 posts a month. So yeah, that's awesome. So all of these kind of work together. So I would always start with your customer persona. From there, do that. And then from there, go to the headline generator or the product description, whatever. But this, again, this is the most important one, although it naturally kind of did it. Like you're speaking to Indigenous people. Well, up there was more speaking to authors who obviously would be your target audience. So it has your customer persona, they're already kind of built in naturally. And then here are the social media ideas. So.
Do you always put headliners?
No, I mainly do headlines when I really want someone to read the caption. So sometimes I'll do throwaway posts that I don't care. I want to just be in their face. But if it's an ad, I want to make sure I'm stopping their scroll. So I'll use these headlines. So if you go back to social media ideas, say I'm like a local publisher. Oh, we're in it, yeah.
No, don't.
I'm a local publisher. I need an ad. Okay, so let's be a little more specific. I am a local publisher. I'm speaking to local authors that I want to come work with me. Actually, okay, copy that and say, I'm a local publisher, speaking to local authors, work with me, I'm creating an ad. Why don't you specifically say an ad? But again, here's like a ton of more ideas you can do. And you can make, the next thing about this kind of stuff, you can make this a post and a video. So you kind of get like a 2-for-1 type of deal.
Sorry, what did you say, Sherry?
Local author, create an ad, a Facebook ad. Okay, so let's copy this one. Let's bring your stories to life, join forces with our publishing experts. So copy this.
Oh. This one?
Yeah. And then go to the headline generator. Say I'm writing an ad. And then copy this, yeah. Explore possibilities and then quotations and just say, write some headlines for this ad. All right, so then you kind of look. So I don't like number 1, unleash your imagination. That doesn't necessarily grab anyone, but number 2, create your own masterpiece, turn your manuscript into a bestseller. That speaks to me. Transform your story into a captivating book with our publishing wizards. That's exactly what people who want to be published want to see. It answers questions. I'm an author, so you're speaking to me, bring your words to life. Here's the next step, collaborate with our publishing masters. And if you don't like the word master, change it to expert or whatever. Or unlock the potential of your manuscript, join forces with our experts from manuscript to masterpiece. So make your writing dreams come true. I really like that one because that's like the dream. Experience our publishing brilliance. And then, so that's your highlight. And then, sorry, that's your headline. And then your caption is, let's bring your stories to life, join forces. But this isn't good enough. After this, you need to, how are they going to? They link to your website or you give your phone number or whatever, email. So it's not just copy paste, you have to add your own stuff. And again, in AI, you can put all that personal information. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but if I want someone to click to my website, I'll be like, write an ad about publishing, click to my website, and then give the website, and then naturally it will be in the social media caption that they give. So. Yeah, anyway, so there's 10, you pick your best 3, and then you can run some ads against that. The cool thing about Facebook is it'll run 3, and then it'll be like, hey, this one's doing the best. So you cancel these ones, take the money that you put towards those ones into the one that's doing well, and then get in front of people. So yeah, so when it comes to headlines, I mainly use headlines for ads because I want people to stop and look. For everyday stuff, I use captions most of the time, so. Unless it's something that I'm really serious, like I want someone to stop on, but for the most part, just ads, I use headlines. So. All right, any other questions? Yeah.
I was wondering for videos, what do you do like in order to be able to post one video in one format? Do you have to, is there a preferred work, instead of just using Canva, for example? Is there a preferred way?
Yeah, so there's no.
Content to Facebook and Insta at once, or you have to like do it every time?
Yeah, so the one thing that does make a difference, it doesn't matter what app you use or if you use it right from Instagram or TikTok, what you can't do is just share links. If you share a YouTube link, Facebook and YouTube are great competitors. So Facebook's gonna be like, oh, she keeps sending people to Facebook. We're not gonna show her to too many people. They will take away your reach. So what I do is do the video right from my phone, blah, 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 stop. And I'll upload it to Instagram. And Instagram and Facebook are the same company, so it automatically goes, that's fine. Then I go to YouTube Shorts, upload it to YouTube Shorts. Then I go to TikTok, upload it to TikTok. Sometimes, so ideally, should you do that? No. Ideally, you'd be like creating content only for TikTok and only for Instagram and only for YouTube. But in real life, we're trying to run a business and we have more to do than just get on camera. So I use a lot of the same videos. Once in a blue moon, I'll be like, hey, TikTok, blah, 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 or hey, Instagram. And I only use that for Instagram. But when it comes to the practicality of it, it just doesn't make sense for us to edit 3 different videos on 3 different platforms. No one has time for that. If I hired someone to do that, I'd be like, I want everything different. But at this point, I'm doing it, so it's not going to happen. But yeah, that's a really good point. So, and the cool thing about this AI, if you go to social media ideas, you can say specifically, hey, I need video ideas. What are some vertical or YouTube shorts I can do regarding whatever? So that's the cool thing about that. Yeah.
With your videos, what's the time frame that you should target for length?
So I personally don't think length necessarily matters. Like I think for YouTube, it has to be 60 seconds or less. TikTok, depending on your account, some people I guess have 10 minutes. What matters is, can you hold their attention? If you can say the main point in 15 seconds, say it in 15 seconds. I mean, you can go on for 60 seconds. People will scroll off if you're not holding their attention. So, and everyone's like, oh, we have no attention. We do, because I just watched a 3-hour movie about like a bomb going off in Japan. So we have the attention. It just has to be good. So sometimes I'll ramble in videos, and even when I'm editing, I don't even want to edit that. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to make this short. So there's no magic number per se. It's just, can you hold their attention? So that's, yeah. But yeah, and again, if you're speaking to younger people, they probably do have shorter attention spans. But if your target audience was like 24 to 40 or whatever the thing was, we can watch a 30-second video and be happy with that. So, and other videos are like, especially for you, like you don't even necessarily have to talk. If you wanted to do like a 7-second video of just someone kind of paddleboarding through water with text on top of the screen saying like, this could be you. You don't need a 30-second video for that. We can read that in like 5 seconds and just be like, oh, that could be me.
And then cut to yourself saying, on the paddleboard this week.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, or better yet, be on your paddleboard. I was on my paddleboard. I lost my phone in Turkey Point. So like I put it in my thing. I was like paddleboarding, and I went to go take a picture. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, I know where I lost it. Cause you know, in Turkey Point, they have those buoys that you have to like, kind of like go under. So I just started walking, and people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I lost my phone. My husband, who hates when I bring my phone on the water, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I lost my phone. So I just walked back and forth. Finally, I found it. I was like, I found it, and it worked.
Oh, you're lucky.
Water. It was so funny. But I still, even though I lost it, I still bring it on the water. Yeah, actually, my background is a paddleboard video.
A video, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be a hilarious video.
Yeah.
Or that could just be a fun poll on stories, like, are you brave enough to bring it on the board?
Yeah.
You know, so, or would you? We didn't even talk about stories. Stories is a whole other thing, but yeah. So basically, I think that's pretty much it. Any other presentations open? Yeah, so if you follow me, I put a lot of educational content on social media, just about different things, like the use of polls. Right now I'm doing a 30-day reel challenge because people hate videos. They hate 2 things, how they look and the sound of their voices. But
Yes.
we all know how you look, and we all know the sound of your voice. So just get over yourself. That's what
I
tell
hate
everyone.
that. When very first TikTok video I did, I was just like, I can't stand my voice.
I know, that's so normal. And again, like I've never met the psychopath who's like, I love this on the first time. So it's totally normal, but you have to do it. So, and that's what connects with people, especially when you're in the arts, right? People want to know the artist. Yeah, that's hilarious. But we know what you look like. That's not what I look like. That's a filter. So you can always, when I don't have makeup on, I do use a filter, and that's the beauty of going right from the platforms. But anyway, so it could be anything. Yeah, so feel free to message me if you have any questions when this is done. I know I kind of went a little fast, but use this. This will work. Copy it, or yeah, I like it. It works. So feel free to take more copies. I know we printed extra. And I think online you guys you were emailed it, I'm pretty sure. The online people, I don't know. I said
We'll have it up on the site, so don't worry, we'll get all the details up there. So maybe in another couple of weeks, you should be able to see this entire course online.
Yes. All right. Okay, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And again, if you have any, feel free to connect on Instagram if you have any questions. Thank you.
Should we clap?